Your Excellency, dear participants and delegates for this conference. For me, this is a very important time to address this challenge of terrorism on the continent. Currently, the state of play on the continent is that out of the 5 regions of the continent, each region is affected. Before, terrorism was in one part of the continent, but now almost all 5 regions there's presence of terrorism. And traditional terrorism was largely acts of either blowing up a building or hijacking an aircraft. But increasingly we are seeing terrorists occupying space, dominating territories, and also undermining the safety and security of citizens. And I think the response, the hard security response, is not working anymore. We need to rethink the responses. One of which is to not deal with the downstream issues, but rather address the upstream issues and see what causes actually terrorists. What makes somebody become a terrorist? By the time bombs go off, work would have been done many years ago. That what we see as a bomb going off is just a fruit of terrorism of a long. To me, I think we should look at education. This year is a year of a theme for the continent is education. I think we should look at peace education. That should be one of our entry point. And also there should be a strong linkage between civil society and the state through what we call the Livingstone formula, in which the continent has the ECOSOC, the Economic and Social Council, which links the continent and its citizens. That's a major area that I think we should strengthen, and I think this kind of a meeting is very, very important to ensure that there is programming that responds direct to the issues in schools, interfaith dialogue, and also to ensure there is we have seen there's a major indicator that as our countries decline in economic and employment, also there is a correlation between terrorism. So maybe the response should be largely to deal with economic issues, to ensure there is equity, and also to ensure that we have employment measures instead of having the youth going out of the continent. Maybe we should look that side, and I think civil society is the main component here. Of course, the continent also has what we call the Common African Defense and Security Policy. One of its major tenets is that Africa's security is indivisible. One state's security cannot be separated from the other. When we see instability in one member state, in some cases, you have a problem in one country, within 72 hours, you see a shockwaves in another country. So we are in this together. And I think civil society is the right place to ensure that actual responses are at the heart of the communities and civil society, rather than being a state-centric element whereby hard security is being used. We should use soft responses, long-term, thought-through responses. I thank you very much.
I would like now to move on. And she just corrected me. The African Commission is one of the 10 arms of the African Union. The African Commission on Human and People's Rights is our premier continental institution that handles matters to do with human rights. They've done brilliant work over the years. Last year, I believe, I don't know if